Marilyn Vos Savant is widely recognized as the world's smartest person, holding the Guinness World Record for the highest IQ score of 228. Throughout her remarkable life, she has worked in the investment business, written screenplays, and married a world-famous inventor and surgeon. However, her exceptional intelligence has also made her a target for those who are uncomfortable with her intellect. Despite her efforts to maintain a low profile, her fame as the world's smartest person has brought both blessings and challenges. Here on our channel, we delve into topics that push the boundaries of knowledge and our understanding of humanity. If you enjoy this exploration, subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking discussions and insights. Now let's turn the page back and take a closer look at her early life, which laid the foundation for her extraordinary journey. Marilyn Vos Savant grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and had an ordinary childhood that appeared similar to her peers. Her parents immigrated from Germany and Italy, and her grandparents worked in coal mines. However, Marilyn's exceptional intelligence soon set her apart. She stood out from the crowd. At the age of 10, she took on 2 challenging intelligence tests that would later earn her the title of the world's smartest person. The first test was the Stanford Binet, a test engineered to measure an individual's IQ across 5 skill domains: fluid reasoning, knowledge, quantitative reasoning, visual spatial processing, and working memory. The second test she aced was Hoeflin's Mega Test, a test typically administered for adult IQ measurements. The results from both these tests astoundingly indicated that Marilyn Vos Savant possessed the intelligence level of a 23-year-old, being only a decade old. But despite her extraordinary intelligence, Marilyn and her family made the intriguing choice to keep this remarkable gift under wraps, opening up an entire new chapter in her story. Despite her high IQ scores, Marilyn and her family chose to keep it a secret, all in a bid to let her have a conventional childhood. Interestingly, Marilyn was not fully aware of how extraordinary she was. Sure, she noticed her exceptional test results, but little did she know that she was the smartest person on the planet. During the 50s and 60s, women were rarely encouraged to flex their intellectual muscles in their professional lives. Consequently, Marilyn had an impressive IQ score, but was uncertain about how to put it to use. Upon finishing high school, she spent a couple of years at Washington University before making the decision to leave. She then took up a role in her parents' investment firm, which granted her financial independence, paving the way for her to chase her dream of writing full-time. But then, there came a point when she thought it was time to let the world know about her extraordinary intelligence. Eventually, she decided to confirm her scores with the Guinness World Records, marking the beginning of a new chapter in her life. As we previously mentioned, Marilyn took the courageous step to confirm her scores despite her family's wish to keep them secret. She presented herself before the Guinness Book of World Records Committee, unveiling the extraordinarily high test scores she had earned as a child. These results placed her intelligence at a level surpassing renowned minds like Stephen Hawking and Einstein. However, to Marilyn, these test scores were simply a pleasant form of recognition. Her heart was truly committed to writing. Luckily for her, these 2 aspects of her life beautifully converged in 1986 when she secured a column with Parade magazine. Initially, the magazine wanted her to tackle some of history's most challenging questions. Marilyn, however, found this proposition too grandiose and suggested she address reader queries instead. Each week, readers would write into the column, and Marilyn would help solve questions spanning mathematics, science, and philosophy. Over her 30-year tenure at the column, she garnered a large fan base. However, there was a time when it seemed like the world was against her. A reader's question she answered led to thousands of irate letters flooding her mailbox for weeks on end. Now let's transition to the next chapter of her life. It all began with a seemingly innocent question about a well-known game show, Let's Make a Deal. Suppose you're on a game show and you're given the choice of 3 doors. Behind one door is a car, behind the other 2 are goats. You pick a door, let's say number 1. The host, who knows what's behind the other doors, opens another door, say number 3, which has a goat. He then asks you, do you want to switch to door number 2? Is it advantageous for you to switch? Marilyn's answer was, yes, you should switch. The first door has a 1/3 chance of winning, but the second door has a 2/3 chance. This question, later known as the Monty Hall Problem after the show's host, proved to be deceptively difficult. As it turned out, Marilyn was correct, but this was not immediately obvious to many outraged readers. In the following months, she received over 10,000 letters from people who disagreed with her answer. Many of these letters came from respected academics who harshly criticized her reasoning. Some responses even skipped the explanation entirely and resorted to personal insults. One reader wrote, "You are the goat," while another simply stated, "Maybe women look at math problems differently than men." Another individual was even more explicit, claiming, "There is such a thing as female logic." Being labeled as the smartest person in the world already made her a target, but the fact that Marilyn was a woman further fueled the ire of many men. Marilyn acknowledged that men often struggled with how to respond to her exceptionally high intelligence. However, she sees herself as someone other than the smartest person in the world. And when it comes to IQ tests, she is not entirely convinced that they hold as much significance as they are often attributed. The Guinness Book of World Records discontinued the category of World's Smartest Person in 1990, with Marilyn being the last person to hold the title. This decision was made because the organization recognized the complexity of measuring intelligence, considering the numerous factors involved. Marilyn shares a similar perspective, suggesting that it's probably better not to know your IQ score. She compares it to health, explaining that describing one's health accurately using a single number is nearly impossible. Just like someone may have a healthy heart but poor kidneys, determining what is most important becomes challenging. Despite facing some negative reactions, Marilyn continues to enjoy connecting with millions of people worldwide through her column, where she answers readers' questions. If asked whether her high IQ is a blessing or a curse, she would confidently respond with, "A curse." However, she also emphasizes that a person's worth extends far beyond what a test score can reveal. Exploring human intelligence is fascinating. Marilyn's journey reminds us that we are more than just test scores. Each of us has unique skills, knowledge, and experiences that make us valuable. Intelligence is multidimensional and should not be tied to a single metric. We value your opinions and questions. What do you think about the role of IQ tests in society? Are they an accurate measure of intellectual capability? Thank you for joining us on this journey of curiosity. We invite you to continue exploring the unknown with us. Until next time, keep thinking outside the box and finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.